In a peaceful little village nestled between green hills and sunny skies lived a cheerful goat named Gemini. He had soft white fur with a little patch shaped like a star on his forehead, which is how he got his name. But Gemini wasn't just any goat. He was full of curiosity, bursting with ideas and always asking questions that made the other farm animals scratch their heads. Why do clouds float? What do butterflies whisper about? Can you yodel upside down? Most goats were happy nibbling grass and hopping on rocks, but not Gemini. He wanted adventure, he wanted stories. He wanted to see the world beyond the farm's wooden fence. One breezy morning, Gemini stood on top of the chicken coop and announced, "I'm going on a journey." "To where?" asked Penny the hen, fluffing her feathers. "I don't know yet," said Gemini, "but I'll know when I get there." With a scarf tied around his neck, a sandwich in a pouch, and his trusty map, which was actually a pizza menu, Gemini set off trotting down the winding path, his hooves tapping to a happy beat. He passed tall trees that whispered secrets in the wind, crossed a brook by hopping on stones, and waved to a family of squirrels having a picnic. Everything was new and exciting. But as the sun rose higher, Gemini found himself at the edge of a strange meadow filled with tall grass and the soft sound of bells. There he saw something magical. Goats. Lots of goats. But they weren't ordinary like the ones back home. They wore ribbons, danced in circles, and sang silly songs. It was the annual Great Goat Gathering. Gemini gasped. "A goat festival? How did I not know this existed?" A friendly brown goat with sparkly hooves trotted over. "You must be new. I'm Tilly, welcome." "What's your talent?" "My what?" said Gemini, blinking. "Everyone here shares a talent. Some juggle, some tell jokes, some balance apples on their horns." Gemini's ears twitched. He didn't know he had a talent. But then he remembered all his questions, his silly thoughts, his stories about clouds and butterflies and upside-down yodeling. "I tell stories," Gemini said suddenly. "Weird, wonderful stories." Tilly smiled. "That's perfect." So that evening, as fairy lights twinkled and goats munched on clover cupcakes, Gemini stepped onto a little wooden stage. He told a story about a goose who went to the moon and a cow who became a ballerina. The goats laughed, clapped, and some even snorted with joy. When it was over, Tilly gave him a shiny ribbon that said, "Greatest Goat Imagination." Gemini blushed, proud and happy. He had found his adventure and his talent. The next morning he trotted home, the ribbon bouncing around his neck. He was still the same curious goat, but now he had a story to tell. And from that day on, whenever someone asked, "Who's Gemini?" all the animals would smile and say, "Oh, he's the goat with stars in his eyes and stories in his heart."